Good morning. Good morning. It's a bright new day. The stress is over. We are here to see what next. Just thank God for bringing us here. And we are here as Zambians and we're here ready. I am focused and I have chosen to go on with my passion and my core. And here I just want to let you know that I have gained more than I expected. I'm turning an experience into a movement. Those that follow me for more than 5 years, I have been faithful showing up on this platform every Tuesday morning to give back to my community through the Free Mentorship Academy. It is free because you don't have to pay to be here. You don't have to pay to be here, but I have to pay to be here. But this is what I have chosen to give back to my community as a free mentorship academy with my colleagues. Over the last 90 days, 79 days to be specific, my journey took me to an expected turn. Expected turn, yes. I joined the race to become an aspiring member of parliament for Chilanga South constituency. I entered the race very late, with only 10 days before nominations, and I stepped into a world I had never experienced before. But did I win the elections? No. Did I lose? Absolutely not. I have returned stronger, wiser, more knowledgeable, and more convinced than ever that my last purpose is to serve people. Over these 79 days, I gained something I never expected. I gained deep understanding of people, deep understanding of communities, how they live, leadership, deep understanding of leadership, of hope, resilience, and the incredible power of mindset. I discovered that many people are waiting for change, but very few are prepared to become the change. Many people are waiting for change, but very few are prepared. Very few are prepared to become the change. And this is my finding. And as I just dive into what it is, I am just that one person who believes that change is what we know will come. And change will come whether we like it or not. And for me, this has enabled me to engage and just do the little things that I am capable of doing. And that is why I am back on this platform every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. And I just say good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Free Mentorship Academy call. Today, I want us to talk about how gratitude can become a movement and how every experience in life can become a foundation for creating positive change. How every experience in life can become a foundation for creating a positive change. So today I want to begin with a simple question. Have you ever pursued one goal only to discover that the journey itself gave you something far more valuable than the result you were expecting? This is the simple question that I want to assign, with you. This is just the simple question that I am assigning with you. And I say this because I went into this simple question of Have you ever pursued one goal only to discover that the journey itself gave you something far more valuable than the result you expected? That is exactly where I find myself today. That is exactly where I find myself today. I joined the political race only 10 days before nominations. I didn't realize that there are so many other things that you need to do, and there are so many other things that make things, valuable. I shocked myself. I shocked my family. I shocked many people who know me. Why would an educator, a business consultant, a trainer, a life coach, and someone from industry suddenly decide to stand for parliament? The simple is simple. I became frustrated. As someone who has spent decades working in leadership, education, governance, business development, productivity, and people development, I believed I could become part of the solution. And this is what I can actually give to the people out there. Can you become part of the solution? Can you become part of the solution? Because when we become part of the solution, we engage and find out where you can fit. Because as I always say, every single person is holding a piece of the puzzle. Can you put your piece down and find where you can fit it? Can you put your piece of the puzzle down and find where you can fit it? If you know something, if you can be able to be part of the solution, please go ahead and just put yourself out there. This is what I have done. It's a calling. So I wanted to contribute to economic growth because I understand it. I wanted to promote skills development because that's what I do. I want to advocate for productivity because that's who I am. I want to bring the voice of mindset change transformation into leadership because that's my expertise. But something unexpected happened. I gained far more than I ever imagined. So today I want to share 5 lessons from this journey of being an aspiring member of parliament for Chilanga South. The real wealth of a nation is its people. That is lesson number 1. The real wealth of a nation is its people. I spent almost 3 months walking through communities. I sat with marketeers. I even had an opportunity to play draft with community members at an institution. I visited churches. I spoke to young people with different aspirations, some of them quite difficult, I must say. And this is the ones that involved in substance abuse. And this was very visible. I listened to women. I interacted with business owners, the stakeholders, some of them, very few actually. But it really, really made me realize just how, as a business or as a farm owner or as a business owner, these are the major stakeholders that can influence the change. I engaged with farmers and I discovered something remarkable. People out there are talented. People are creative. I discovered we can actually make teams of dancers, teams of aerobics, teams of, all these things, sports. There is creativity out there. People have dreams. People have great ideas, but many people have lost hope. There's a difference between being poor and losing hope. A person who still has hope can rebuild. A person who has lost hope struggles to see possibilities. That is why mindset change is so important. You can provide resources, you can provide opportunities, but unless people change the way they think, transformation will be difficult. As a mindset change process transformation expert, I am ready to be part of this solution because I have some answers for it. What was my lesson number 2? Education must go beyond certificates. Education must go beyond certificates. Why do I say so? One of the biggest surprises for me was the attitude towards education. I entered the race carrying my experience and qualifications. I came as a teacher. I came as an arbitrator. I came with an MBA. I came with Doctor of Business Administration. I came as a life coach. I came as an entrepreneur with 35 years of experience. And I was told to put all those qualifications aside and just give the grade 12 certificate, certified by the Examination Council of Zambia. That experience, first experience as we were nominating, challenged me. What message are we sending to our young people? Should education simply become something we pursue for employment, or should education become a tool for solving problems? I believe knowledge must translate into service. Our communities need leaders who can teach. They need leaders who can create opportunities. They need leaders who can mentor others. Education should never become a decoration. Education should become transformation, because you are at that level where you can lead differently. And this is why when we've got a skill, and I discovered a lot of skills there with the people, education should become transformation when you can use it. If you don't use it, then you're where you are. And this is the challenge that I know that there is a huge challenge which we have to observe and do something about it. My lesson number 3 was leadership is service, not position. Like what I'm doing today, I didn't get the position, but I carry on doing what I know on my level of leadership. And this is service. This is service. And this is why a lot of times we think that you need a position to do something. For me, wherever I am, actually, I do not need a position. As long as I know where I fall, I know what it is that I'm doing, I will go ahead and do it. And some people actually get threatened when I'm able to just influence something. People think that I want to take their job. I do not need a job or a position. I just need to put out my expertise and do something about it. I need to put my missing piece of the puzzle down, and I always identify where I can be useful. And sometimes people don't get it, but this is who I am. And one of the greatest lessons I have learned is that leadership has very little to do with titles, very, very little. So I've gone ahead, even in my community, the one thing that that came out the most, especially in the area where I live, is security. So I went ahead during this same period. I interacted with the security because I had to protect myself. So someone offered to secure me, and from that I had a discussion of how it can go to all the people that are here, because it's one thing that we struggle with, security. And here is a security institution which has everything that we need in our community. So I engaged, and as today, I've already secured a meeting that we can be able to meet and go ahead and see exactly how we can be able to maneuver in that area. So the greatest lesson I learned is that leadership has very little to do with titles. You can go ahead and do whatever it is that you need to do. Don't wait for the title, because sometimes a title will not come. Leadership is service. You do not need a title to help a young person. You do not need an office to empower women. You do not need a position to transform a community. A title may give you authority, yes, but service gives you influence. And this is why I come every day to give that influence at my own level. I discovered that my real calling was not confined to a political position. My calling is much, much bigger. My calling is to continue helping people become more productive, become more organized, and more self-reliant so that they can create wealth at their own level, at their personal level, regardless of where they stand. My lesson number 4 is productivity is the missing link. Productivity is the missing link. I met many people who wanted a better life, but wanting success and working towards success are two different things. Success requires discipline, and this discipline, a lot of young people do not have the discipline. A lot of our people do not have consistency. They will do something today and they will forget about it. So success requires discipline for you to be able to do one thing at every given time so that you can go to that success at the end of the day. Success requires organization. Success requires accountability. Success requires productivity. Yesterday in the office, my team was asking me, what is productivity? Then I was like, every morning when you wake up, what are you thinking about? You wake up, you come and sit on your desk. What are you doing? If you can actually measure what you have done that day, tick them. Yesterday you aligned what you're going to do today. If you are able to tick them, that today I have done this, I've done this, 1, 2, 3, 4, you are productive. If you sit there and wait for instructions from someone, and if the instruction does not come, it means you're not going to be productive. So productivity also requires common sense. It requires you to be alert. It requires you to think outside the box. It requires you to value yourself. What value are you bringing to an institution? What value do you have that people are going to say, hey, this person was not there, so this was not done. But with productivity, whether you are there or not, you can be productive. It doesn't matter where you are, because now most of the work, you can do them remotely. You don't need to go to work to be productive. Just like now, we were waiting for results. Did we just sit? For us, we were now reviewing what have we done, what can we do, can we resume? We did the schedule of the Tuesday calls, and we're even saying, since we are paid up to this, we can invite people who would like to say something about how productive they are, about their piece of the missing puzzle. So we can give chance to people who want to, to play, a role on how they want to, to share into their wealth out there. So many people are waiting for someone to change their lives, but transformation begins with personal responsibility. Personal responsibility is what is called time management. How do you do your personal time management? You have to start with personal responsibility. How responsible are we? Is that question that we can ask. The question we should all ask ourselves is this: what skill do I have? What skill do I have? How can I improve it? How can I turn it into income? How can I create wealth for myself and my family? Because success is personal. How can I create wealth for myself and my family? And you must always believe, this I believe myself, that there's enough for everyone. There's no need, to be jealous about or confrontation about what business you are in. There's enough for everyone because we are all different. We must be willing to do the work for us to be that in that space where you feel there's enough for you, there's enough for everyone. My lesson number 5 is a movement is being born. Out of this experience, a movement is being born. A movement is being born. And this, a movement is just mindset change and it's a process, mindset change, process transformation for creating wealth at personal level. And when we create this wealth at personal level, we are able to turn it into actionable ideas. And this, for us to be able to, even for us to be able to dive into this movement, we have to now increase ourselves to civic education. I have learned so much. We are so ignorant on civic matters. So I have said, how can we create this mindset transformation so that we are able to create wealth, to transform ourselves, to be engaged? How are we going to be engaged if we are not even aware of our civic matters? So I'm saying we really need to step up and just be in that portion where we know what is expected. This morning, I was actually, as I was getting ready, I switched on the television. We slept late, by the way, waiting for the results. So I was saying, I hate that ECZ should be able to tell the people the expectations, not when they ask about something, then you get offended. They should be able to tell us the expectations of all the rules of the game. So this is why, even with this ECZ, I can be able to partner and just get that portion, get the information for proper civic education of what is expected. So as we change mindset, we also are civilized in the way that we think about elections, the way that we prepare, and the way that we push ourselves forward. So that is a movement that is being born. This journey has given me more energy than ever before. I have listened, I have learned, I have grown, and now I'm ready for the next chapter. I'm inviting people to become part of the mindset change process movement for wealth creation at personal level and civic education. I want to train mindset change agents, a lot of them, for me, because of the people that I interacted with, so I'm creating change agents in all the 6 wards that I contested in, and I've already recognized keeping my chairpersons so that I can be able to use them as change agents. I train them, then I use them as change agents in their communities. I want to transform communities through them. I want to support women through the structures. I want to empower young people through the same structures. I want to build productivity citizens through the structures. This is no longer about an election. It is about a movement. And I am so ready, for it. I am very, very ready for it. And as I conclude, I want to leave you with this thought. Sometimes we think we are chasing an opportunity, but God is actually leading us towards our purpose. I entered this journey expecting one outcome, but I have gained much more than I expected. I have gained relationships. And in gaining these relationships, it is so amazing that the person that I was, especially those ones, that are now commonly known as junkies, I have gained such deep relationships with them. And those are my starting point. As I was discussing with my security, firm, I was saying those could be good security personnel because they knew how to guard me. They knew who was the danger person. They knew who I shouldn't interact with. They knew so much. So I don't want to lose those relationships. So I'm bringing them together, and I just want to do something. And it's very emotional for me when I even talk about, the junkies. They simply have misused or what we are calling substance abuse, which number one is alcohol. I even know now all the names of these small alcohol that is sold, and now I can actually do some discipline on them because when we were doing the campaign, they said, "Mom, just leave us to be drinking this. It's what we know that we should be able to do." So for me, with my heart full of gratitude, I just want to engage those, and especially, the young people, and you won't even imagine. And even in the videos that I was doing, I chose those clips where those young women would hug me that they want to stop, the habit of abusing alcohol. And I was like, wow, okay. So my team is busy, calling and we have put a database, and we're just going to fish them out and see what we can do for them. That is what I have gained, more than I expected. I gained relationships. I gained wisdom to deal with all these things. I gained experience. I gained a deep understanding of people. And most importantly, I gained renewed purpose. And this is the only thing that is the beginning of what it is that I have to do. Because the campaign may be over, but the movement has just begun. This movement has just begun. And because of this, I will make sure that this movement of creating wealth, of creating wealth at personal level becomes such a huge movement, because that's all what I've discovered that people need. And this movement, where I'm inviting, if you'd like to be part of the movement, please inbox the team. I hope that they can type the number there, or you can put a message on the Facebook page. You can inbox me on the Facebook page. You can inbox me on the LinkedIn page. And because we're looking for a lot of leaders, we're looking for partners, to anchor these, stakeholders to anchor these. If you're a stakeholder out there, if you are looking at how you can be powerful, how you can be able to engage, we are here to make that story happen at every level, because it's a movement, for wealth creation. MCP, MWC at personal level, mindset change process movement for wealth creation at personal level, because change starts with the person. Change starts at that level where no one is actually telling you what to do, but you are telling yourself what you'll be able to do. And this is why it is very, very important. And you can be able to call us. You can call. You can call Sandra, who is the person that is there. Yes, to be part of the movement. Yes, you can call that number, and you can inbox. You can do whatever it is to be part of the solution. We are simply using the curriculum, the curriculum which is Skills Award in Mindset Change, which is accredited with the VETA, but the tools are ours, and we have done a patent on the tools so that they are not diluted or misunderstood. So, and this is why we want you to use our tools and be able to just take that one step towards that. Our model is prepared, around the wheel of life, where you are there in the middle, managing your 24 hours, around family and home, around mental and education. And mental and education, this is why we have designed the civic education, and we are looking for partners to help us to manage that. It is the 24 hours daily where you have your financial career. Financial career is what makes you productive, what makes you have food on the table, and what makes you prepare for your retirement, prepare for your succession, so that you can be able to live a good life even after. Part of your 24 hours, you should be able to manage your physical and health. If you are not healthy, you cannot even get into any place or family and home. You'll be struggling. You can't even do mental and education. You can't even do financial career. You'll be able to do family and home, because family and home, that's where life starts and that's where it ends. Regardless of who you are, you have to end up with your family and home. And this is why when something happens to your family, you get affected, because that is where life starts and that's where it ends. Also, we are looking at spiritual and ethical. Spiritually, probably there's not much deal there, but how ethical are we in the things that we are dealing with? Are you sure you are doing things that people would clap for you, or you're doing things that you're going to be answerable? And they're only going to be answerable to God, because some people are beyond what we can do to them as human beings, because probably of the office they hold, or the functions that they do. But sure, remember that part of your 24 hours is to remain spiritually aligned and have ethical behavior that is going to take you places. The other part of the wheel of life is social and cultural. The social part is the network that we believe in. Why I'm speaking with you is because I'm in the network that we are able to reach you, and we're able to tell you that join our core, because that's where it is. The cultural part are our values. Our value system is what is really, takes us places. What are you going to be remembered of? The elections are over. What are people going to remind you of? What are your values? Your value system is what makes everything happen. And during the campaign period, in the social and culture, I was connected. I was connected with the observers. I connected with some EU observers. It's because of our networks. Somebody, and in fact, the person who even gave me the contact is one of the people that I was competing with, Maria Langa. She says, "Oh, the EU are looking for you. They don't know these names are confusing on your thing," and that's the topic for next. Maybe we can do them on Friday and just see how your name is going to disadvantage you, or why women have got a challenge on the ballot box, and that is the story of next week. So we should be able to manage. We should be able to manage ourselves in these 6 areas of life, because that is what makes us be a total person and enjoy every bit of our well-being. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. I pray that you go back to your normal life, be lenient to yourself, accept change when you cannot change it, and change those that you are supposed to be changing, because life goes on whether you won an election or you didn't. And for me, this is my ending, that I say I have gained more than I expected, and I've turned this experience into a movement. Thank you so much for listening to me this morning. I appreciate you, and may God bless you. Thank you.